What's up, y'all? It's your boy Tevin Jameer back at it again with another episode of the Hate It or Love It podcast. As you can see, I'm back on camera, but things are a little differently. I got a different angle for the show and whatever. Also, wonder why I'm dressed like this. I just got back from another mystery movie Monday. Let me tell y'all, man, just real quick before we get to the topics this week, let me tell y'all, man, 2025 has mostly started off with a freaking bang. And I'm trying to stop myself from cussing so much on the podcast, but 2025 has really been like starting off with a bang for real this year. Like every almost every movie I've seen this year, um they've been really solid movies actually. I just got back from seeing Companion, and from what I've gotten from reviews, it's best to go into this movie blind. So I'm not gonna say too much. Just know it's about a woman and her boyfriend. They go to like a rich person's house for like a weekend getaway. And all I can say is without spoiling anything, cause trust me, you want to go into this movie blind. Um One of the big reveals, I didn't see the full trailer, but I seen a little bit of the first trailer. So I already knew like one of the big reveals in the movie, but there's a lot of twists and turns in that movie. So like whether you know the big reveal or not, like you're still gonna be, you know, caught off guard by a lot of the other twists and turns that they introduce into the movie. But yeah, Companion was solid. Um the first movie that I gave a 5 out of 5 so far this year, which Companion, I didn't review that yet because I literally just got back home. I still need to think about what rating I would give it. But, like I said, it was a good movie. It's solid. So if I had to, yeah, how I'm feeling right now, maybe a 4.5, maybe a 5, like it could be up there. But the first movie that I gave a 5 out of 5 to this year was actually Presence. I saw that like a few days ago, and yeah, like that movie was a 5 out of 5 for me. And then even the first movie I seen this year, Better Man, that was like a 4.5. The only bad movie that I seen so far this year was Flight Risk, but that was more of a so bad that it's also entertaining type movie. So even in a way, you could even say that I enjoyed that. So even the bad movies this year has also been entertaining in some way, shape, or form. Not saying that they're good entertaining, but the bad movies, if they can entertain me, then maybe 2025 is shaping up to be a pretty good year for film. And on the music front, it doesn't look like it's going to be a bad year either. My girl JoJo, my baby JoJo, she just dropped her EP, NGL, not gonna lie, so go check that out. But enough promotions, enough talking about like other stuff. So on the agenda for today, as you guys can see in the title, I'm going to be talking about this DJ academic situation, giving my my 2 cents on that. And then the other thing I wanted to talk about with Netflix, raising their prices, and what do I feel about that and whatever. So all right, let's get to this DJ academic situation now. Trigger warning, we're going to be talking about grooming. So if you guys don't want to, hear about that or anything, definitely click out of the video because, I'm someone I usually have my thoughts. And this DJ academic situation is crazy because I, for the most part, I would consider myself a fan of DJ Academics. I don't really know about now, but like back then when I was younger, of course, when you're younger, but like, you know, before I considered myself a fan, but over the years, I've seen a lot of activity from him that kind of makes me, not that I noticed it, but like I did start to like kind of fall off of his content. So what was this situation? So pretty much, and everybody's been talking about it, so I'm pretty sure you guys know the whole story. I'm gonna basically just give y'all a quick gist of it. Basically, DJ Academics and a bunch of other people, even allegedly Tory Lane's former manager. I don't know if he's his current or former. I've seen differing reports on it, but just know he managed Tory Lane's. Um, Academics, Tory Lane's alleged manager, and a couple of other grown adults was in like a live stream with a 15-year-old streamer named Noor, and they were talking to him like hella sexually, not in the way that they wanted to sleep with him, but they were trying to get him to sleep with somebody. Like from the clips that I seen, it started out with them saying like, "Wait, you 15 and you ain't hit nothing yet? You ain't smashed nothing yet?" And he was just like, "Nah, bro, like I'm not worried about that." And they kept egging it on. Like they kept saying, like, "Oh, well, what if we hired some girls for you to sleep with you? What if and also Noor is associated with Black Boy Max. I don't really know anything about Black Boy Max. The first I've ever heard of him with the little TJ and Fabio Foreign situation, but from what I gathered, Noor is associated to Black Boy Max, but Max wasn't in that stream. But they were all like saying like, "Oh, well, what if Max wanted to sleep with a guy and like he was trying to get with you?" And the kid was still saying, "No, I don't swing that way." "Oh, well, what if Max's sister, wanted to sleep with you?" He was saying no because she's above age, he's a minor, he's not trying to do all that. Then there was like another disturbing thing that they said. And this part really got me heated low key. Like this part really got me heated, and I feel like not a lot of people is talking about this part as much. um One of the guys that offered to pay for him to get some, he was like, "Oh, most of the rappers lost their thing at a young age." And let me just say my overall thoughts, and then I'm going to touch on that rapper comment because I feel like it goes deeper than what a lot of people has been saying. First off, this whole situation is weird. This whole situation is weird. These grown behind men should not be talking to a 15-year-old boy about that. Which let me just say real quick, and guys, don't take this the wrong way. Like I'm saying, the situation is weird. I feel like they shouldn't be talking to this boy about that at all. But some of these people that I've seen reacting to this situation is treating Noor like he's a 6 year old. Like some people is treating him like he's a little behind kid, and this was like his first time hearing about sex. The boy knows what sex is. He might not fully grasp it because of his age, but like he knows what it is. So I'm seeing a lot of people, react to it like this is his first time ever grasping the concept of sex and stuff like that. Like the boy knows what it is. Let's stop treating him like a 6 year old boy. But regardless of how people is treating him and viewing it, like no matter how you spin it, the situation was weird as hell, and these grown behind men shouldn't be talking to him about stuff like that and egging it on and trying to get him to sleep with anybody just so he can lose it. And a lot of people are pointing the finger at Akademiks because he's the biggest person in the group. But honestly, I think the whole group need to be like, obviously, Ak is the biggest name, so we're going to focus on him the most. But I feel like we all need to point fingers at every single one of them, find out who the rest of the people are, and we need to start talking about them just as much because Ak was on some weird shit. He was saying a lot of weird stuff in those clips, but so was the other dudes. And the reason that I was hyper focused on the one comment saying like, "Oh, all the rappers lost their, virginities at a young age," that is not sending a good message to the youth. Just because here's the thing. Those rappers that lost their virginities at a young age, when you really get into the stories, those are not good experiences. That is not how you should experience your first time. And when it comes to like boys and sex and sexuality and stuff like that, a lot of people take it as a joke. A lot of people take it as like, "Oh, you slept with an older woman, so you should be glad about that, you got it done early." But really, that's not how we should view it. That's not how it should be when boys and sex gets involved. Because first off, saying that like, "Oh, all the rappers lost it at a young age," they should have never lost it at a young age. They should have lost it when they were ready. They should have lost it when they were mature. They should have lost it with someone of their age, not someone older than them, basically taking advantage of them. So I hated that. That comment messed me up a lot because it's almost like you're trying to justify like what those older women did. And like I don't know, man. Our society is crazy. I mean, this situation is giving me hope. This situation is giving me hope because people are starting to call out, how we just play around with boys' sexualities growing up. But at the end of the day, our society, they don't take, boys and sex as seriously as girls and sex. And me growing up, let me just tell you this. and this is, I guess this is a really personal episode, but let me tell y'all this. When I was younger, um, you know, obviously me and my boys, we all had the conversations about like, oh, did you hit that? Did you hit this? Like, me, I'm someone, ever since I was young, I've always been a lover boy, and I've always said, like, I want to save that moment for someone that I really care about, somebody that I feel like is worth it. And because of that, I'm gonna keep it real. I never lost my virginity in high school. It took a very long time for me to lose it. And it's not because I couldn't get any, like, trust me, there was girls that wanted to. There was girls that wanted to, but I've always viewed my body as a temple. And I always felt like, sex is a very personal thing, and I'm not just going to let anybody have a piece of my body. So, for years I basically said no. Like, even if I like somebody, it's like I gotta like you to a certain point to where I want to do that. Even I'm like that now. So I'm gonna keep it real. I'm not just out here smashing it. I'm not out here just smashing anybody like a lot of people my age do. And a lot of people encourage that. And you know what? If that's how you want to live your life, cool. But I'm just saying that we need to take this more seriously for guys because, at a young age, like I said, I ain't really go around sleeping like that. I didn't just want to jump in the sheets with anybody. Like, obviously, I'm a human, so I have my urges, but like, I didn't just jump in the sheets with anybody because I respected my body. And, I don't want just anybody to have a piece of that. But of course, when you're that young, you get jokes thrown at you. And I've been in conversations like the one that DJ Academics and his boys was having, where people older than me, my boys, my age, like they all was saying, like, you ain't hit nothing yet. Man, we gotta get you something. We gotta get you something. But it's like we need to change how we talk about this type of stuff, because if somebody's just not interested in doing it, why do we have to try to force people to do that? And I'm not gonna lie, where it got to a point for me where at a certain point, I'm not gonna lie, and I'm not gonna go too full into the story, but at a certain point, it was almost like, damn, like other people's words was getting to me, and I was trying to at one point, mess around with multiple people. I'm not gonna say whether that worked for me or not. All I'm gonna say is, you know, the way we talk about boys and their sexualities and like the things they should be doing at what certain time, like that, this situation I feel like is gonna be the right direction to, or for me, I feel like this is the right direction to, like, let's start a conversation on this, because for a long time we be treating boys and their sexualities and stuff like that, we be talking about boys and their sexual histories as a joke, and we don't take it seriously, because you guys are sitting here, and I'm not saying y'all, but like the people in the stream was saying, like, oh, you at this age and you ain't hit nothing yet. If he doesn't want to hit nothing at that age, that's up to him. Why are we trying to force him? He shouldn't even be doing it at that age anyway. um oh, but these rappers, who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? Why would he want to follow in the footsteps of someone who realistically got taken advantage of? Because when you look at these stories, some of the most famous ones, Chris Brown lost it to one of his babysitters when he was at a very young age. Lil Wayne said that Birdman got strippers or whatever, or maybe I'm mixing up what Boosie said about his son, but in a lot of situations, these older dudes basically put these kids in situations they shouldn't be in because, oh, that turns you into a man. So yeah, man. I just got a lot of thoughts on this, and I feel like we need, don't don't just end the conversation here. Don't, and there is a part of me that believes that people is going this hard partly because they hate DJ Academics, and y'all can hate him as much as y'all want, and I'm not defending him. But I'm saying we need to take this further than DJ Academics, because this has been a problem for years, and we need to talk about this. Let this moment, build a dialogue. That's what I'm saying. Like, for me, this is deeper than Academics. What he did was fucking weird. What him and them other people did was fucking weird. But Yeah, nah, we gotta take it further than that. So, you know, obviously let me know what y'all think down below. Like, how do y'all feel about the situation? And do y'all feel like we need to start building more of a conversation around this? And how do y'all feel about, like, how sex is seen for boys and stuff like that? Because honestly, I'm glad this situation is making people talk more, but we need to keep the conversation going. That's how I feel about it. So, yeah. That was a very personal, serious topic. And for me, I just write down the topics that I want to talk about. I don't really, script nothing or anything like that. So like me telling y'all my story and stuff like that, like that was something I wasn't planning on telling y'all, but like, I keep it real with y'all. I keep it real with y'all to a certain extent. Like I don't want to sit here and tell my whole life story, but I do want to keep it real with y'all because these are conversations and these are things that I feel like needs to be talked about. So yeah, like I said, let me know how y'all feel about this DJ Academic situation down below. Um, and like I said, I don't know all the players in the story. I don't really know much about Black Boy Max. I don't know much about Nor besides this situation. So there's probably more that y'all know than I do. But at the end of the day, we need to keep this conversation going. As far as academics, like I said, man, throughout the years, he's done a lot that made me, stop being a fan of his. Like I used to keep up with, his channel. I used to keep up with his podcasts, his streams, but like, maybe it's me getting older and seeing like the negative traits of a lot of these celebrities and personalities that I've been following. But like, I'm really starting to peep like, a lot of these people are pieces of shit. I'm not even gonna lie. A lot of these people are pieces of shit. And after this situation, I really can't fuck with act like that. So yeah. Um, that was more of a serious topic. My second topic is definitely more lighthearted, but for my second topic, I wanted to talk about, Netflix raising its prices, which that is so wild to me that Netflix is still raising prices. So recently, I got to pull this up so I can see how much the prices are changing. This feels like some streaming stuff because I'm over here searching stuff while I'm doing the podcast. So okay, Netflix is raising prices. Where's the prices at? Where's the price points at? Okay, so the price increases announced Tuesday. We'll see the standard monthly membership from 15.49 to 17.99. The standard account with ads will raise $1 to 7.99, and the the tier with 4K will go up to 24.99. So why am I talking about this? Y'all know I'm a big movie person. Y'all know I'm a big media person. And one thing that I definitely show off a lot on my channel is physical media. And personally, me seeing Netflix raise these prices, seeing Netflix raise these prices is definitely, one of the reasons I say start collecting physical media. Even if you don't want to start collecting physical media, I really feel like I feel like it's really important that you guys start exploring different options besides Netflix because one thing y'all got to realize, Netflix is the leader of this streaming service stuff. So when they raise prices and they see people complaining about it on the internet, but they're never going to stop watching Netflix, because I even remember the last price hike. That thing, so many people was mad about it, and they complained about it on the internet, saying they're going to cancel Netflix. But funny enough, Netflix released stats that showed that more people actually subscribed, and more people than before was starting to watch and use the service after they did their last, the crackdown with the passwords and the price hike. So I see a lot of these people complaining, but yet they still use the service. And what y'all don't realize, or maybe my audience, I like to believe that my audience is, peeping the same stuff that I'm peeping, but like what a lot of people don't realize is that Netflix is the leaders. So if they're doing the password crackdowns, a lot of these other streaming services are going to follow suit. If Netflix is starting to raise prices and you guys still stay, then these other services are going to follow suit. So, and I know it's easier said than done, start collecting physical media and stuff like that. Like some people don't have the money for it. Some people might not have the space for it. There's a bunch of different reasons for why you might not collect physical media. All I know is Netflix can't keep getting away with this shit. It can't keep getting away with it because you know, honestly, what really is the benefit of personally for me, and maybe I'm just talking from a bias point because out of all the streaming services, Netflix is one that I rarely ever use. But like, what is the benefit of it? You're paying these high behind prices for shows that either they're originals that get canceled for after 5 minutes of being released, they get canceled after 5 seconds of being released, um or you do the live events where most of the time I'm seeing people saying they crashing and they're not working, like the Mike Tyson event. For me, and I'm not saying that my internet is the best. I'm on a basic internet plan with Xfinity, but for people that's paying a bunch of money for Xfinity and whatever cable or not cable, whatever Wi-Fi they pay for, a lot of people were saying that the Mike Tyson and Jake Paul fight was not even viewable with their Wi-Fi, and they said they pay you know, top tier Wi-Fi. So the original's always getting canceled. Live events doesn't barely even works. Depending on what tier content is being locked, and even if you do have it unlocked, stuff just goes away quickly. What personally me, I'm a physical media person. I want to get to a point, and y'all be seeing my physical media collection videos at the end of each month. Personally, me, and maybe I'm just coming from a biased point of view, but personally, me, I like to collect physical media so that I can get to a point where I don't have to have no streaming services at all. Whatever I want is right there in my house, my apartment, wherever. I can just go up and get something. I have other ways of watching stuff digitally. I'm not going to sit here and say it because it might not be the best means, and I don't want to encourage nobody to do what I do. Just know that I'm a physical media person and things. And as far as digital things, I have it set up to where I don't have to worry about none of that. So, what I am encouraging y'all to do is speak with your dollar. Don't keep letting Netflix get away with this shit. Um, if you don't have the means to start collecting physical media, do other things that will benefit you. Like I said, I can't say what I do, but find your workarounds with stuff like this. I'm not encouraging nothing. I'm just saying find your workarounds. But at the end of the day, Netflix raising their prices, it's crazy, man. I just hate to see people. Honestly, I feel like wasting their money on a service that honestly is just greedy as hell. And they don't even be making the best content anymore for them to be doing that. Maybe back in the day, could be a little bit justified, maybe, but the content ain't even keeping up with these damn prices. So yeah, man, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just a dude that does this podcast that be yapping on camera and just be saying my thoughts. But yeah, man, let me know how y'all feel about the whole Netflix situation, the physical media stuff. Like I said, man, I think it's time that Netflix we need to start speaking with our dollar, and we need to hold them accountable and show them like, all right, we'll keep this up for a little bit, but y'all ain't gonna keep doing this to us. But yeah, man, that was really it for the topics today. Black Boy Max, or not Black Boy Max, but DJ Academics and the North situation, and then Netflix and stuff like that. Man, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Sometimes it's kind of starting to get harder for me to find topics for the podcast, at least like more news type type stories to talk about, just because honestly, man, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's like the winter time. Maybe it's like because I know sometimes it's seasonal stuff, but I just been to myself. I've just been secluded. I've been. I've been focusing on me a lot. Like I ain't really been using social media as much as I used to. I'm kind of like on my days off, I just stay inside, work out, watch movies. Like I don't be paying attention to a lot of other stuff going on in the world. So I don't know, man. Sometimes it's kind of hard for me to come up with topics because like I just be sticking to myself for real. But I be trying for y'all. I be trying for y'all because the podcast. I love talking. I love talking to y'all. I love talk like discussing things with people. So excuse me. Oh my gosh, man. I've been up since early this morning because of work, and then I'm still up after seeing this movie, doing the episode for y'all. I need to take myself to bed. But like I said, man, let me know down below what y'all think of the topics, what you think about this whole DJ academic situation and the conversation around that. Netflix raising prices, physical media. Let me know all of that. Um, and speaking of physical media, y'all already know last day of the month. Expect my physical media update, video. And yeah, that's it. So with all that being said, Kevin Jameer signing out. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace.